Hello everybody, happy Thursday to you all. A very warm welcome to you here on my channel today. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be sharing week number 3 of my cake celebration weekly card class for January 2025. Really enjoying making the cards with you all so far, and I hope you are as well. For week number 3, this is the design of the week, and I'm using more of those dies. I've introduced the stamp set in week 1. We use the stamp set and the dies in week 2, and this card is predominantly about those dies because they are just really lovely to use. They're really fun, and the possibilities of them are really varied. So this is the design of the week, and everything that you need, for those of you that are following along at home, everything you need is in your week number 3 card kit. If you're following along elsewhere, I will pop all the measurements in the post description of the post below for you all. So here is everything that we're going to be making. So you have a card base cut from basic white. There's quite a lot of layers and quite a lot of detail in this card, although it doesn't really look it. You have a layer of white for inside, just to strengthen that. Then for the front, you've got a layer of navy and a layer of pretty in pink, and these are just ever so slightly smaller than one another, and we're going to alternate them. But a lot of my ladies don't like wonky things, so if you did want to put it on straight, you absolutely can, because that navy layer is just, I think it's half a centimetre smaller, half a centimetre bigger than the pink. And then you have this die cut piece of designer series paper. Do you remember last week's card? Last week's card, I have it right here, had this beautiful frame. Well, this piece is the piece that came from inside, so there's no waste in my die cutting for that one. And then you have a selection of die cuts, so you have this beautiful scalloped detailed frame and the inner piece, like so. You have 2 little white rectangles. Those are for your cake layers. Think back to last week. You have your cake stand and your cake stand texture detail. And then you have some drip layers. I love a drip cake. So you have a pink small drip. Where's my little pack of bits and pieces? Here it is, it's down here. Oh dear. I need to cut myself a pink drip. I hope that yours is included. And then I'm worried now. And then we have a bunting that's been cut from pink, pretty pink glimmer card. So let me just cut myself a small drip element. It should be fine because they come in a pack of 2. So I'll just do that quickly. So this is the die. It's a double die, so you actually get the small drip and the big drip come together, pop out together. There we go. So those are the pieces that we are going to need. Now, stamping wise, there's not a huge amount of stamping on this. You may be able to see in the background there are some detail on the pink layer, and that's using this stamp here and this stamp here. And then I've also got my layers stamped onto my cake, which are these 2 here. And I have the word celebrate. And if you want to stick to the same colour combination as me today, these are the colours that I've used: Melon Mambo and Pretty in Pink. So let's make a start and put this card together. So the first thing that we can do, we can actually add some of our layers onto the card. Have a piece of white and get stuck down flat inside. This just says celebrate, so this would make do for birthday, an anniversary, and a general sort of celebration. Now these two layers here, what I'm going to do, the top right hand corner, I'm going to scrunch. I love a bit of scrunching on my cards. Just think it adds a bit of extra detail, like so. And then when you layer these together, you're going to pop them on your card like so. Okay, so before I can stick this one down, and I'm putting it on there so you've just got a little white border showing. You don't want to add any glue here because this is the bit you want to kind of continue to be nice and free. We need a little bit of no, we don't, sorry, we need this here. So for this piece, you're going to need your Pretty in Pink stamp pad, and I'm using the larger of the kind of spray at the moment. And you want to just stamp very randomly, but only in the areas where you're going to see it. Don't waste your ink and stamp in this centre. And then using the darker pink, so Melon Mambo, stamp the smaller one. So just a little bit of stamping detail. What you can do, you can just check that you're going to see that by just popping on your DSP layer, and actually that's all fine. So now we're going to alternate the direction of this ever so slightly. That's good. So you can see both those layers now. And stick that down. And then this layer here, I'm going to stick to the front of my card, but with one of my trusty foam sheets that I love to use. There we go. Okay, so next, this die here, you want to turn it over and you want to lay that inner piece inside so that it sits nicely flat. And then you want to take some double-sided tape, and what we're going to do is we're going to attach the double-sided shape so that that inner piece is going to stay inside. Do a little bit at the top. This die comes from the Wildly Flowering set, and I've actually used them quite a lot. It's really pretty. And then this is going to also get stuck down with the pad. There's quite a lot of dimension on this card, so just be mindful if you're planning to mail it, just think about the additional postage charges. So now we have lots of depth on that card, and we can now create our cake. So just grab yourself a bit of scrap. I have a little bit of scrap here. And I'm going to take my cake layers, and grid paper works really well for this so that you know you're going to stamp your cake lines straight. So for the bigger rectangle, take the bigger of the two lines. Now, when I first saw this, as you may know, all I saw was French fries. So I actually used this set with the seagulls. But yeah, this screams French fries to me. So stamp with Pretty in Pink and just lay your French fries across, and stamp. There we go. And then with the top layer, take the smaller French fries and stamp. There we go. There are our cake layers. And then you can take your frosting or your drip, add a little bit of glue. Be quite sparing with your glue. You don't want to get lots of gluey splodges. And then the larger of the two obviously goes on the larger cake layer. Just line the top of that drip up with the top of your cake. And then the smaller one goes on the smaller cake. So there are the cake layers. Now, whilst we're here and we've got the glue out, take the cake stand and you want to attach this detailed layer to the cake stand layer itself. They've really thought about these dies, and it's really nice to kind of be quite creative. Now, cake stand, I'm going to attach this so that it's flat. So although there's lots of detail on this card, I think it may be one of the quickest cards that out of the set. And I'm putting this cake stand on so the bottom of it just sits beneath the bottom of our die, so we can't see that tip of the die. These are going to get attached with some pads, so more depth dimension. I'm going to lay the biggest one on first. And with the second one, I'm going to add myself just a little bit of glue just there, so that actually it's going to sit on top, and you just want to make sure it's kind of in the center of that panel. And then lastly, we have our bunting on the top. Love this bunting die. Take your bunting and attach that there, like so. Actually, just bring it down a little bit. There we go. So our bunting is now on our cake. All that's left is me to stamp Celebrate, and I've just got some scrap white for that. And that's being stamped with melon mambo. You can choose any sentiment you wish, though, of course. And then you can either cut this into a banner, cut around it with a banner die, or you can do what I'm going to do, and that's just fussy cut it around. Excuse me. Just have a little itchy eye. There we go. So we have Celebrate, and then I'm going to stick that down about there. So I'm going to straighten it out a bit. That's now. So I'm going to put my glue just on that little area there. And there we go. That is our card number 3, week number 3 design, all complete. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I hope you enjoy putting it together. Next week is the final card in this class, and actually it's a really good one. So I do look forward to you joining me midday on Thursday, the what day are we? We're the 30th of January next Thursday. We are Thursday, the 30th of January, week number 4, the final week of Cake Celebration will go live, and I look forward to you joining me then. Bye for now, everyone.